So, are you talking about the debate to decide something? Maybe.
Well, thank you. First of all, some questions. Paula said about romance and comedy with the films, but at the end of the films, the guy and the girl are ever together, or not? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how can you say that romance is that?
No, my point about the films was that as opposed to epic love stories, romance tales of former centuries, that now romance has to be packaged and presented to us in a 90-minute comedy with a happy ending. Are you going to go sit and watch a 2-3 hour Shakespeare play as a movie, or a 3-hour love drama? I mean, meaning, I've mentioned about how the media packages it to us and sells it to us to be palatable, swallowed, to be able to get the popular people in the popular interest and people in the door. It was my point about that.
The only way they can show romance in the film is by covering it up with silly comedic lines that are often crude, rude, and unpalatable. And that is not romantic, even though they call it a romantic comedy. It's not romantic.
But at the end, the two lovers are together.
Yeah, they sleep together.
They sleep together. And what happens after that?
That's the
Next
game
week,
of it, but
they find someone else.
I will say something, for example, about Shrek, it's a comedy. And at the end, for example, they are ugly, they are ogres, but they love themselves. Yeah.
No, we're not debating the ending of the happy ending. It's the packaging of it.
But we're just talking about one genre of movies. I mean, we do have love stories and love dramas that exist. So I think it's kind of irrelevant to talk about romantic comedy and the structure of it, because we have love stories.
But no one goes to see them.
They do go to see them. I mean, who's seen Titanic?
Young people today.
Who's seen Titanic? I think everybody. And that was like 3 hours long.
Ready to
Whatever, up to you. But you saw it.
And Ray, you are married. Yeah.
Yes, correct. Well spotted. Yes.
If you weren't married, what would you say?
You were not married.
You were not married.
So, in terms of the proposal, romance is not
In
dead.
general, like for you, romance is not that, but you are married.
Okay.
You are suspected to say this.
Okay, right. No, well, not necessarily, because I do know some people who are married, and clearly, even objectively, their marriage is not a happy one. So you can actually look at lots of examples. As I said, romance, love, relationships exist in many different forms. A little bit like anything. You might have 10 people prepare the same dish, and they all prepare it differently. Some people put something in, some people take something out. I think that to say that as a married person, I still think that romance does actually exist. Romance is actually very important, and it's measured in small gestures. Little gestures. It's not grand gestures. But to say, were I not married, I'd like to think I would still actually have kept a romantic side to me. I can, if you're talking about me personally, I like to think that I'm quite a spontaneous person. Some might be a little bit over the top, as we see there. But no, I like to think that I still think romance is actually alive and well, living in the 21st century. Oh, lunch.
I have a couple questions for Siva. First, you said that romance is in our heads. I have read that exactly the same about love. Love is an illusion of happiness that is in our head of individual. So you said that love exists, but romance is an illusion. Just tell me why love is not an illusion as well.
Okay. What I meant was there are many kinds of love. Here we are talking about the so-called romantic love. Why is it so-called? Because this is a creation by the media and by society. You love a person for life. So if you're a husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, it doesn't matter. Your love, that is real. And that is practical, something that you can see every day, the things that we do for each other. Not silly things like buying flowers and giving chocolates, or listening to what the songs are saying, you know, the media and the movies. The things that are practical, that is the real love. When it comes to a problem in a relationship, how you deal with it, that is love, that lasts. But the thing about illusion, because romance, today we are also preoccupied with what the media says we should do. We seem to have lost what we should be doing as an individual, as a human being. We are so dependent on technology. We are so dependent on information from external sources, from the media, from Hollywood, and so on. And then we behave like that. We feel the need that we have to behave like that. Even watching a romantic comedy, we feel like, oh yeah, I must behave like that, because in the movie that's how they behave. But we don't ask ourselves, what exactly is our purpose in life? What is our love to this person? So, I'm a Hindu. In my religion, life itself is an illusion. We say Maya. Maya means everything is an illusion. Nothing lasts forever. So here we are talking about things that are questions of degree. Romance, according to what we have heard so far, is like once a year or before the marriage, on a Saturday night. You know, all these are where romance is supposed to happen. But then life is not everything nice and sweet. The reality of life is what we have. So love is the other thing that is important. But then love itself doesn't last long. Look at the number of divorce cases. Look at the number of split up, breakups in life. All this shows that something is missing. So romance is not going to save the relationship.
They're missing romance.
Exactly.
Exactly. They're missing romance.
That's right. It's there. So it doesn't exist.
Right. What is missing is not romance. What is missing is true love.
No, it's not
True love is missing. That's why I can say, Susan, I love you just for this weekend, and Monday morning I can say, I love you, Julia. Because the so-called love is taken over by romance, which is not real. What is real is love. And that is real as life itself. But romance is just an illusion. And we are fooling ourselves to say that we are romantic. We are not romantic. Because it doesn't exist. In fact, the word it says is dead. I don't even agree with the title, because something that is dead shows that it was alive before. It wasn't alive in the past, so how can it be dead today? It never existed in the
Hey,
first
you
place.
said that. You already said that.
The society is saying that.
Let's have the judge's decision. Okay, it's time. 12. Let's get the decision, please.
Why they made the decision before that?
No.
Well, we considered very, very comments about all teachers, but we agree that romance is not dead.
The best argument, we think that they won because
Because they gave you flowers.
Not because they're flowers.
Because romance is, romance is how you express your love, you know, and we express love in different ways. Not necessarily the flower, the card, no, anything that you know your partners will enjoy or will consider it romantic. It's probably can be considered an illusion, but if you consider illusion, the reality is the illusion is alive. And
The illusion has become a reality.
So who you guys think presented the best argument? Not really personally agree with it. Yes.
the best argument
No,
is you are talking about romance in the past, and they are talking about romance now. And I think that is not the same. You are not discussing the same thing, because the romance is but not in the same way that in the past. But
In every culture,
nowadays,
Good point, yes, we agree.
yeah, if someone,
Alright,
thank you, Ines.
If they have a prize for winning dance.
Yes, that's right.
Are you arguing with the judges? I don't think you're allowed to do that.
When the judges say we agree with, that's not judging, that's opinion.
They agree with based on our arguments. Thank you.
I love that.
The best,
That's very judging.
The winners are the best speaker in Siva.
Now, giving me chocolates, is that romantic?
Another comment in the back.
Okay. My point is really that I don't think so that romance really is dead. Why? Because I think that romance is waking us, beside us, and you don't know how and you don't know when, but just you express it. And maybe you don't know that you are romance, but you do it because it's inside you. I think that romance is not only between man and women. Maybe there are romance in the nature, and this is a powerful source for painters, writers, making movies. So I think romance is not dead. Maybe if you think romance is dead, I think with respect that you have maybe a kind of strange blindness in your mind because in all the world romance.
Yeah, you guys.
Excuse me. When I heard you this theme, my conclusion was, I think all of you you think that the romance is alive, but it is just a debate, and they maybe try to different things.
It has to be two sides.
You just made another ways of express the romance, but different ways. But
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.